kids, welcome back to Uncle Fezzi's Body Shop at Bad Decision, otherwise known as Delco INEOS Upgraders. Wow, what the fuck did Uncle Fezzi spend his money on now? Well, you know what, I'm getting old, and, you know, quite frankly, I'm really embracing looking like a tool bag with this new truck of mine. So, what did I do? Well, in my previous videos, you saw me futzing around with all these Pelican cases, right? So, one of the reasons, or one of the things I plan to do with the Pelican cases is strap them to the roof of my truck. You know, like the movie Vacation, you know, when all the luggage falls off the roof of the car. Well, we're going to try to avoid that, because, you know, I don't want to lose my wife's diaphragm. So, I went and I've been looking for a while, actually since even before I bought the truck, I've been looking for different types of roof rack configurations for the Grenadier. Now, the Grenadier Quartermaster, which I have, does have like little strips on the roof to, so you can actually strap stuff directly to the roof of the truck. My experience with those things is poor. You can do it. There's no reason you can't. And also the grab rails on the side of the truck are load bearing, and that's where these come in. Now, I looked at a couple different ones. I looked at Littner Designs. I looked at Owl Vans. They have one. Agile Off-Road sells the Littner Designs. And there was a couple others that I looked at. I forget the name. I want to say Bunker. There was a bunch of different baskets that I looked at. I changed I didn't really want a basket. The other thing is, the baskets that I looked at, they actually clip to the drip rail on the side of the truck, and I don't like that. I don't like the drip rail clip for a couple of reasons. One is rust. It's the number one thing, is rust. The other is, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Also, a lot of the ones that I looked at covered the whole roof of the truck. Good scratch in. And I have Safari windows. Now, I don't necessarily always open them, but I do occasionally open the Safari windows, and if I got a full rack, I wouldn't be able to do that. So, I looked at the quarter racks, which are made for the Quartermaster, and I don't know, whatever. It's the whole thing was just kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to get roof bars for a couple reasons. We'll get into those too. So, I went online, you know, Facebook, you know, stalked me, and they sent me to a company called DVA Mechanics, and they sell dual track T-track roof rails, identical design to the rails that are on the side of the truck and the rails that I added to the inside of the truck in one of my other videos. We'll get to that too. So, this is going to be an unboxing video. And yeah, this is an unboxing video and a kind of first thoughts, and then a little explanation of what I plan to do. Goddamn fire safe cigarettes. Oh, and lighter in my pocket. Too much talking, not enough smoking. So, the first thing is I ordered this shit on Sunday. Today is Thursday. This bag of goodies came yesterday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I had the, well, actually that stuff came Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget. I don't know. The little bag came first, of course, because that's the shit that I'll need. So let's open this up. The first thing, and this pisses me off, it definitely, absolutely, 100% irritates the shit out of me, is it says right on the box, made in China. The company's based out of Georgia. Well, you know, made in China. I wish I'd have known that, especially for the price that I paid for this stuff. Really what I'm paying for, and that's kind of what I'm going to show here. Ooh, got to put a little bit of lube in my knife needs a little lube. It's not clicky clicky. So, we're going to open the box here. This came via FedEx, and I will throw my FedEx guy under the bus for the 1000th time and say, he actually didn't throw this in the yard this time. I guess it was too heavy to throw out of the window of the truck. did with my bulletproof vest. Ceramic plates got flung out of the truck. Oh, well, look at that. First off, I slit the looks like I slit open the bag, ran out the bag that the foam came packed in. A little bit of foam. Track number 1. Ooh, they're pretty beefy. The box, I think the box said 6 kilos. Which, you know, tool the devil, metric system, tool the devil there. More foam. Instructions. On looks like a sticker, which is kind of interesting. Roof rails, 2-pack. If these are plastic, I'm going to be really fucking pissed, and they feel like fucking plastic. These are supposed to be metal. They're fucking, well, that's plastic. Okay, these are metal. Alright. Alright. Now, I am going to bitch a little bit right off the bat, too. Not only made in China, but... Oh, it did come with... No. Okay. These were like $400. $500 and some dollars after I bought the accoutrement that went with it. So let's unpack these. Let's see what they look like. I'm going to assemble them on the bench here. Well, I will say, they are beefy. They are seemingly beefy, which is what we wanted, because I'm going to put some weight on it. The static load on these is 300 pounds. The dynamic load is 100. So I should be well within my 100-pound dynamic load, and definitely well within the static load. So they rate them 2 different ways, because a lot of people will put a rooftop tent on these things. The big wagons, they put 6 of them on the roof of a big wagon, and they put tents on them. My idea of a tent is a Best Western. Right. Well, right off the bat, they are heavy, so I can kind of see where some of my money went. These are the rack. This is this. Okay, this the whole reason I purchased this kit, and I'm actually a little bit happier now than I was 30 seconds ago, is that these are metal, right, which is what I wanted. Otherwise, I would have just 3D printed these like I did my light racks. So this is supposed to clamp on the rail, and that's what those plastic pieces are for. Okay, all right. I'm a little less irritated, but I'm still irritated that they're made in China. All right. So I have a couple. This is going to be a multi-part video. So this is just kind of the unpacking and a little brief explanation of what I plan to do with this. So again, I want to strap my. I want to strap that big ass recovery Pelican case to the roof, my jerk off jack, and my Max Trax recovery boards, because they don't really need to be in the truck, and they do nothing but get in the way in the bed of the truck when I'm packing the rest of the shit I have to pack to go to the fucking beach, because I'm a tool bag and I need to take all that stuff, or else I won't, you know, the one day when I drive off onto the beach without all that shit will be the day I get stuck. Oh, looks like there's a nick in it already, which is no big deal, but definitely like that failed quality control. Box full of hardware. Oh, these are rubbers for these. Okay, good. Rubbers for those, rubbers for that. Make sure we have all our rubbers in place, boys. This looks like rubber. It's not 3D printed, which is nice because I would have 3D printed these. I actually already modeled these out in ABS, or I modeled these out in CAD, and then decided that I'd rather buy the metal ones. If I had a machine tool, I would have just made these. These look like they're cast. Well, they could be CNC. Yeah, actually, they're CNC. Okay. Yeah, you can see the tooling marks on the outside here. They're powder coated. These are the ends. And a whole bunch of hardware that I'm going to immediately pick up and put someplace safe, because that's nice. I was a little worried about that. Okay, so you can put the sliders in. You can put the sliders in. I wonder if these are. There's 4 of them. I wonder if these. This may be their idea of. Yeah. Okay. So it did come with these. I bought more. So I'm going to open the other bag of goodies that I bought and kind of get a little giggle at for one of the other things that I have going on here. All right. So all these little things are going to go back in the bag here. So all my hardware. Oh, look at that. 2 Allen keys. That was very nice of them. Oh, look at that. Nice. Okay, so I'm a little bit less irritated than I was 30 seconds ago. Oh no, these are to hold them one with. I'm still a little bit less irritated than I was a couple seconds ago. So these slide in here. Oops. These slide in here, and that's what holds things down. Okay, so I actually, when I ordered these, I didn't even bother reading the full description, because why would I? Okay, those are threaded. All right. Get some thread locker out for those. So it did come with some attachment points, so you could attach stuff to these. Of course, I bought extras because I could never have enough stuff. These bolts are a little bit small. I would have rather they've been a little bit bigger, but I assume they did that because they're limited on space with this design. Okay, so we're gonna put that away, because throw these right in the trash. Now, I also ordered all this stuff. Now these are the longest ones they make. Oh, the other thing is all this crap is metric, which, you know, it is a European vehicle. Oh, and they don't fit. Well, that is interesting. Now there they go. Man. Okay. I had a moment there for a second. Still don't think they fit. Yeah, they don't fucking fit. Unless you have to smack them with a hammer, maybe. I'm gonna have to look these up, because that don't fit. It fits that way. But it doesn't fit this way. That's supposed to slide in there like that, and it does not fit. Very interesting. I'm going to have to look that up, because I paid a good bit of money for these things. L-track M8 60 volt. Yeah, they don't fit. Maybe if I whack it with a hammer, flatten them out a little bit. But yeah, they absolutely don't fit in there. %, do not fit. That's the problem. And that is going to get an email to them that these do not fit. I'm going to have to check on that. And I may have ordered the wrong thing. L-track bolt M8 60mm 4-pack. Does not fit unless I'm doing something wrong. But that definitely looks like that don't fit. Good thing I ordered these. And I also have 36 inches of drill rod because I plan on doing other stuff. These fit, which is good. Because the other cool thing I have going on here is when I bought my truck, it had these gorgeous, I mean, look at these things. These are gorgeous tie downs in the bed of the truck. I removed these to install the L-track that I put in the inside of the truck, in the bed of the truck all around the inside, which also is not proven to be as useful as I was hoping it would be. It's still useful, but not as nearly as hopeful as, or not as nearly as useful as I wanted it. They're Torxy. So this morning, actually last night, I had this epiphany when I found these things in my shit pile, looking for something else, that I could use these, And it looks like I absolutely can. Except, we can fix that. So I knew when I did this that I was going to have some spacing issues with this, and I underestimated the thinness of this material. So I'm going to have to, I printed out these spacers out of ABS GF to go on the bottom of these things to act as spacers. So I printed these spacers out to go underneath these to hold these in place. And it looks like, and I knew this was going to happen because I put the cart before the horse like I always do. It looks like I'm going to have to print out either thicker spacers, or what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to print out another spacer in TPU to keep them from rattling. So I only need less than 10 thou spacer, which I'll do. I can do that pretty much right now. But yeah, this is a problem. This might get an email back to the company with like, hey, these don't fit. I might whack one with a hammer and see if I can get it to fit. But they are definitely looking like they don't fit in here. Let's try a different one. Yeah, they don't fit. And not only do they not fit, they don't fit by a lot. Alright, so I'm going to shut the camera off because I'm a little irritated. Okay. I'm a dumbass. Shocking, right? Yeah, so these actually are supposed to fit on top like this, and they get tightened up like this. And these are fucking horrible. I don't think I'm ever going to use them. Yeah, I've said it 100 times that the Chinese really fucking love. Oh, all right. I stand corrected again. When you put a wrench on it, they tighten up pretty well. I apologize. I still don't like the fact that they're made in China. But I don't need these right this second. But this was another batch of stuff that I ordered. Now I understand how they work because I didn't actually read the directions. I went to their website and looked at the picture. Alright. Okay, so the way these work, and I'm going to bring the camera in a little bit closer. So the way these work, which I thought they slid in because that would have made more sense to me. But now that I see how they work, it's a little different. So it has that bolt there with that on it. Get that right. Yeah. So the bolt goes in like the hole, like that. You slide it over and you click that down like that. Then you tighten it up. Like that. And then put a little wrench on it, and it actually tightens up pretty nicely. I apologize. But I'm going to leave that in the video because I'm an idiot. But these are definitely going to need, a little bit extra spacer because the bolts are bottoming out on these and I don't want to force them down. I'd rather print out a little TPU gasket anyway to stick on these and make it go a little. I don't want to damage the powder coat. I could probably, yeah. I rolled the dice on the thickness of this material, and this morning, and it looks like I'm actually pretty good. But I am gonna put a little. I'm gonna make a little TPU bracket to stick in there. And these slide in. Yeah, I damaged. Yep, I damaged the powder coat. You fucking jerk off. All right, so I'm gonna print out some gaskets for those. Okay, so here we are. I guess a couple days later. The roof rack is mounted. I'm gonna walk around this side because the sun's beating in my face here. And we'll get the ladder out. Well, the ladder's already here. So, you get to see me fall. There we go. The roof rack is mounted on the truck. I didn't bother showing how to do it because the DVA Mechanics website has a really good video, so you really didn't need to see me mount it. Now, the one thing I did do immediately was I cross-threaded one of these little 5mm bolts. So I had to get the very bad day box out and chase the threads. So these are the mounts that I was bitching about that didn't fit and they were terrible. Yeah, well, these things are great, and I'm literally shaking the entire truck here, holding onto that thing. Yeah, I totally stand corrected. That was me just panicking and being bitchy. I don't know. I'm on fat pills or fat shots, so it makes me angry every once in a while. Yeah, so they do kind of rest on the center here, and it's not because of the weight. I think that's the way it's designed. Either that or I don't know, because there's space here, but there's none in the middle. I don't know. So let's go look at the box. Like I said, this is going to be a multi-part video because I've got a couple other parts of this project that I need to address. One of the things is my case is swelling, which is kind of interesting. So this is my no good very bad day at the beach box. One of the things that I did do is I decided that I'm going to make proprietary ratchet straps for this thing, and that's what I did. So I went to Depot and I bought some pretty decent, these things were like 10 bucks a piece, and normally you could buy 4 for 20, so I don't know. And I shortened the straps significantly. I also doubled the straps, and I got rid of the hooks. I got rid of the hooks that come with them, and I replaced them with carabiners. Now, these are not climbing carabiners, these aren't load rated, blah blah blah. But I will say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the metal that these are made out of is just as heavy as the hooks, if not a little heavier, and they are closed. So I have a lot of faith in them. I've never had one of these things fail unless I was literally winching on it, and like winching. So we're attached here. I did end up printing a TPU gasket for these. That was real easy, and this thing is you know, to pull, you know, the old, that ain't going nowhere. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Now, like I said, this is going to be a multi-part video because I'm still working on my jack mount. So I'm going to put my jerk-off jack here, and those are my max tracks, and they're going to get mounted here. I'm still waiting on some hardware to come from McMaster. Shockingly, they didn't have the hardware that I wanted in stock, which was actually really was shocking to me. So I'm gonna take these off real quick. Just gonna release them because I don't want to see why this thing's bulged. It could be because it's full of fumes. So the reason I use the carabiners is so I could just, whenever you're dealing with ratchet straps and hooks, you inevitably, you know, it'll come unhooked when you don't want it to. So with the carabiners, you know, it can't come unhooked. It can't come unhooked. And like I said, these, now this has been up on the roof of my truck now for a good 48 hours because I didn't feel like taking it off, but also because I didn't feel like taking it off. I'm going to drive around town with it on the roof before I go on a road trip with it, just to make sure. You know, if it blows off while I'm going down the bypass, you know, I can always turn around and get it, because the bypass isn't a total, well, it is a racetrack, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm a little curious about that bulge. Oh yeah, you can smell the adhesive is still off-gassing in here. That might be why it's a little bulgy. Actually, I'm gonna go grab something else to show. I also made this bag. This is actually an old chair bag. The chair didn't last very long, but this bag did. And it's actually really heavy. It's like 1,000 weight Cadora material. And I sewed the carpet on one side and here, and then I sewed Velcro on the ends. What am I doing? Well, this is now a cable guard. So it's a cable protector, right? And it's a bag. In my other Pelican video, I showed what, you know, that I was just throwing this in here, and I decided, because I had my sewing machine out, and then you could use it as a tree protector also if you want, or whatever kind of protector. And then if I really wanted to get crazy, I could order myself another set of winch cable extension and put it in there. But that's actually what I'm doing here. I guess I could stick that in there too, not to bother. Okay, so latch this monster shut again. Like I said, I'm going to be a tool bag, and I'm going to drive around the neighborhood with this thing on the roof of my truck for a couple days. we've got a trip to the beach planned for this week, so it's might as well just leave it up there and see what happens. Now, because I have carabiners already attached to the other side, I don't have to worry about the hooks coming undone. Right, so I don't have to worry about the hooks on the other side coming off. So just clip it on, clippity clip, and just ratchet it on. It's a Pelican, it can take it, that's what it's designed for. The other thing is, I wanted this, I wanted the fucking camera overheated. I wanted the latches to be on the roof. So yeah, I could do these either way actually. But it's got the carabiners on there, so I don't really have to worry too much about it. And you know, that's the obligatory, oh, it moved. That ain't gone nowhere. And there's no big long tag end hanging off. Also, like I said, I doubled these up. These are twice as thick as they were, and I used my Sailrite to sew them together. So I have complete faith in my Sailrite to make sure that, you know, they're not going to come apart. Next step, the next video is going to be about my jack, my jerk-off jack mount, and these. Now there it is up on the roof. So thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something, or at least got a little giggle out of me cursing constantly and making an asshole out of myself over those things that actually turned out to be really sturdy and helpful. Also, if you don't know, I wrote a book. It's called Love Letters. If you have any questions about it, it's a post-apocalyptic, female-centric, post-apocalyptic, near-future, speculative science fiction novel. It's everybody that's read it's really liked it. I just wish I could get an agent to read it. There you go.